Hello, it's LaShawn with Rooted and Reckless, and I'm really excited because over the last several weeks I've been watching Mrs. Lerner's 62, the wallflower, the painted wallflower, I think is what her name is on her YouTube page, and she has just been phenomenal at showing the way that she's been managing her plants using PON. And right now, all of my plants, or 99% of my plants, are in soil, with the exception of a couple of plants that I recently purchased off the Palm Street that came already in PON. So I have really been taking a lot of notes and watching a lot of her videos, which are really simple and easy to understand. And I want to give it a try. So I recently received this Painted Lady Philodendron from Etsy, and it's a starter plant. And I've been soaking it in water. So first of all, here's the plant. You can see this leaf is probably not going to survive, and I'm probably going to end up chopping it off or pruning it off later, but the other leaves look pretty good. It came in great shape. I would consider this to be great shape. And it had a little plug of soil. So I've been soaking that little plug of soil off. It has what I think are great roots, and I'm not going to mess with them too much because I've seen Mrs. Lerner's kind of on occasion not really mess with the roots too much. And so I've been pretty much just soaking them in this water, in some filtered water, and I'm going to just leave it at that. I'm going to, this little piece, I'm going to just basically leave it like this. I think that the roots are in pretty good shape, I would say, overall, if you look at them. I think they're in pretty good shape. And so I have prepared my DIY PON, and I'm going to use that to put it in this 4-inch pot. And so the first thing that is typically done, or that Miss Lerner's does, is she starts the bottom of her pot with LECA and some very large lava. Now, I have not received my extra large lava at this time, so I'm going to use some PON in the bottom. And by the way, I do have my string here, and this is what I'm going to use as my reservoir. So I'm putting a lot more, I think, LECA in the bottom of the pot. And then I'm going to also use some lava. So I have some lava here. I'm going to use a little bit of that. It's not the smaller lava rocks that I use for the top layering, but it is a smaller, it is a little bit of a larger. So I'm going to use that, put that in. So I've done that. I think this is pretty good. Maybe I'll do a little bit more lava rocks in there. And I do have my wick here. And I'm going to pull it a little bit more down so it can be down in the reservoir. But the plant is not that big, so it's going to be probably like right there. So this is probably good enough. So what I usually see her do is I see her take the wick and just kind of lay it around here like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to lay the wick right there. And then I'm going to put the plant in. And as you can see, the plant will sit fairly well. And I'm probably going to open up the roots just a little bit so they're not all in the middle. So I'm just going to open them up just a little bit. And there's a lot of secondary roots on here as well. So I'm going to open them up just a little bit like that. So they're kind of spreading, going to the outside. And I'm going to set this to the side for a minute while I mix my DIY PON. So I am going to use lava rocks, and these are a little bit of a larger lava rock. And just to show you for reference, here is the lava rock that I use for the top of my, the top dressing, or I guess the top layer of all of my plants to keep out fungus gnats. So I am going to use that now. I have ordered some crushed granite, which is what Mrs. Lerner's uses, but it hasn't come in yet. So I'm going to use that. But for now, I'm going to mix the other parts of my DIY PON. And so the first thing I'm going to do is put some of this lava rock in here. I'm also going to put some of this pumice in here as well. And I have some charcoal that I'm going to put in here. A little bit of charcoal. And then I have my zeolite that I'm going to put in here as well. And I'm just going to mix this. And as you can see, it's kind of mixed up really well. And now I am going to hold my plant up, but I am going to now pour my DIY LECA around And I'm going to tell you that I have really been a student in trying to learn her methods of DIY PON. Her plants look amazing. So I'm just very excited about the opportunity to have plants that look like her plants. So this is basically it. I don't feel like I need to put any more in there. I love the way that even without a stake, the plant is just sitting upright. And so that's basically it. Here is my reservoir, which I'm going to basically put the plant in just like this. Now I do need to rinse this. So one of the things I'm going to do is just run some water through here fully and rinse this. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit about the water that I'm going to be using in this reservoir and what I have mixed in it to make sure that the plant is going to get the nutrients that it needs. Okay, I have basically rinsed all of this, and so this has gotten a thorough rinsing. I will say that I am using filtered water that filters out chlorine and other unnecessary or harmful minerals, so I don't have to use something like Stress Coat, which is a great way if you're going to use unfiltered water. But I am using SuperThrive to give my plant the nutrients that it will need. And so what I've created here is a concentrated form in this cup. And so basically what I'm going to do is, because this is so concentrated, I am going to basically take 1/8 of a teaspoon and put it into a cup for every cup that I will put into the reservoir. And so here is 1 cup right here. And I may only need a cup that I'm going to put in my reservoir. And that's it. So I am done. I'm going to keep an eye on this and monitor this. It looks really good. I'm very happy about it. And so this is my first plant in DIY PON. And I'm going to, again, I'm going to try to do this for some of my plants. I think it does help when you have over 100 plants to have some plants that you don't have to, I don't want to say you don't have to keep an eye on, but that you don't have to water as frequently because they have this type of system. So anyway, I'm very happy. This is my Philodendron Painted Lady. It's a starter plant. And so we're going to see exactly how it does.